Hello everyone, welcome to the 5-minute revision. Let me ask you something. Have you ever felt that even when you are surrounded by people, you still feel alone? You have friends, you talk, you laugh, but still there is no one with whom you can share your real thoughts. Now imagine feeling that at just 13 years old, and imagine living in a time when the world around you is filled with fear, danger, and uncertainty, where even stepping outside your home could be life threatening. In such a situation, where would you go to express yourself? Who would you talk to? For Annie Frank, the answer was simple. She chose to talk to a diary, not just as a notebook, but as a friend. A friend who listens, a friend who never judges, a friend who stays. And that simple diary became one of the most powerful voices in the history. Welcome to the 5-minute revision. Today we are covering from the Diary of Annie Frank, one of the most emotional and important chapters from your class 10th English syllabus. This chapter is not just important for exams, it is important for understanding human emotions, loneliness, courage, and the power of expression. Stay with me till the end because in this video you will get full detailed explanation, important NCERT points, exact NCERT questions, and a free PDF with answers in the description. Before we begin the chapter, it is very important to understand who Annie Frank was. Annie Frank was born in 1929 in Germany. This was a time when Adolf Hitler and the Nazi Party were in power. The Nazis believed in racial superiority and treated Jewish people very cruel. Annie and her family were Jewish. Because of increasing danger and discrimination, her family moved to Amsterdam in the Netherlands. For some time, life became normal again. But then, history repeated itself. The Nazis invaded the Netherlands too. Now, Annie's family has no choice. They had to go into hiding. In July 1942, Annie, her parents, her sister, and 4 others started living secretly in a hidden part of her father's office building. This place was called the Secret Annex. Think about this carefully. A young girl living inside a closed space, not allowed to go out, not allowed to make noise, not allowed to live freely for more than 2 years. And during this time, on her 13th birthday, she receives a diary. That diary becomes her world. The chapter begins with Annie expressing her thoughts about writing a diary. She says that writing in a diary feels like a strange experience. Why does she say that? Because she believes that nobody would be interested in reading the thoughts of a 13-year-old girl. She thinks her feelings are too ordinary, too simple, too unimportant. But this is where the irony lies. Today, her diary is one of the most widely read books in the world. Contrast is very important for exams. Even though she feels that no one will read it, she still decides to write. Why? Because she has a strong need to express her thoughts. She feels that there are many things inside her mind and heart that she cannot share with anyone. And then she writes one of the most famous lines in the chapter. Paper has more patience than people. This line is extremely important. What does it mean? It means that people often interrupt, judge, or misunderstand us. But paper listens silently. It never reacts. It never criticizes. It allows you to express freely. That is why Annie chooses to trust her diary more than people. Now comes one of the most emotional parts of the chapter. Annie talks about her life. Her first glance, everything seems perfect. She has a loving father, caring mother, a sister, around 30 friends. But then she reveals something unexpected. She says that she does not have a true friend. This is very important because even though she is surrounded by people, she still feels alone. She explained that when she is with her friends, they only talk about fun things. They laugh, they joke, they pass time, but they never talk about deeper feelings. This is so emotional connection. She cannot share her fears, her thoughts, her real self. She even reflects on this and says that maybe it is her fault. Maybe she is not able to open up. Maybe she is not able to trust others fully. This shows her maturity. Because of this loneliness, Annie decides to create her own friend. She gives her diary a name, Kitty. From this moment, her diary is no longer just a notebook. It becomes a person, a companion, a listener. She also makes an important decision. She says she does not want to write facts like most people do in diaries. Instead, she wants to write her feelings. She wants to talk to Kitty like a real friend. This is what makes her diary unique. Now, Annie realizes something important. If someone never reads her diary, they will not understand her life unless she explains her background. Now, she gives a brief sketch of her life. She talks about her father. She describes him as the most loving and kind person. She respects him deeply. She talks about her mother and her sister. She shares how her family moved from Germany to Holland. She also talks about her childhood. Then she remembers her grandmother. Her words become emotional. Even after her grandmother's death, Annie continues to feel connected to her. She thinks about her often. This shows her emotional depth. She also talks about her school life. She studied in a Montessori school. She remembers her teacher, Mr. Cooperes, very fondly. When she left school, both Annie and her teacher were emotional. This shows that Annie formed strong emotional bonds. Now, the story moves to a very relatable situation, school exams. Annie describes a scene where results are about to be declared. The whole class is nervous. She says, the whole class is quaking in its boots. This means everyone is extremely scared. Students are even betting money on who will pass and who will fail. Annie finds the situation funny. She laughs at the boys who are betting. She is confident about herself, but she is slightly worried about one subject, maths. Then she makes a very important statement. Teachers are the most unpredictable creatures on earth. This line reflects how students feel about teachers' decisions. Now comes the most interesting and engaging part of the chapter. And its math teacher, Mr. Kissing, is strict. He gets irritated because Annie talks too much in class. Even after several warnings, she does not stop. So he decides to punish her. He gives her an essay. Annie does not get scared. Instead, she thinks creatively. She writes that talking is natural for students. She even says that she inherited this habit from her mother. This is a clever and logical argument. Teacher laughs, but he is not fully satisfied. Annie talks again. Now she gets another essay. Still, she handles it well. But when she continues talking again, teacher gives her a third punishment. Quack, 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 said Mistress Chatterbox. Now something interesting happens. Instead of writing a normal essay, Annie writes a poem. With the help of her friend Sani, she creates a story about ducks. The poem describes how baby ducks talk too much and get punished. When teacher reads it, he understands the humor. He laughs and something changes. He stops punishing Annie. He starts appreciating her creativity. He even begins to joke. This moment is very important because it shows that intelligence plus creativity can change people's attitude. If this is helping your revision, subscribe to the 5-minute revision because we are covering your complete syllabus in the simplest and most effective way. These are exact NCERT questions. Answers are available in the description PDF. So this was from the Diary of Annie Frank. Complete revision based on NCERT. If you revise this once, you are well prepared for your exams. Download the free PDF notes from the description. If this helped you, please share to your friends and don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the 5-minute revision. Next chapter coming soon.